Example of fake news, Sean? Can you
Yeah,
give us an
absolutely,
example?
Jim. I'll give you an example.
Please.
Sure. Friday, the president was having a great discussion at the G7, and someone from the BBC and ultimately an incoming reporter from the New York Times retweeted that the president was being rude by disrespecting the Italian prime minister. And when in fact you all in every one of the meetings that we sit in watch the president with that one earpiece that's been used by other presidents. And yet the president did a great job at NATO, building stronger bonds at the G7, increasing America's presence around the world. And that's the kind of thing that the BBC and ultimately the reporter who's now joining the New York Times push out and perpetuate with no apology. What, you're shaking your head, Peter. I mean, it's true. You did it. No, and I'm answering Jim's, but I think.
No, can't reporters make mistakes?
No, but that's not. But that's just fake. That is a fake.
That was in the newspaper. Your trip was all over the front page. You're making something out of one tweet instead of the.
But again, you guys
majority
defend
of
your
the
mistakes like that. With all due respect, I was asked to give. I was asked to give an example, and I did it.
Prominence than anybody ever.
I gave an answer to Jim. The problem is that I think the president, to the question, gets frustrated when he sees fake stories get published, things that aren't based in fact, and a narrative gets pushed.
That's just so.
So that's just, well, with all due respect, I think when you see instances like that get perpetrated over and over again, that is frustrating. I'm not here. I didn't come here with a list of things, but I think that there's well. Thank you. I appreciate it. What you get to decide what's big and what's not. I think there's a lot of the stuff that has gotten pushed out based on unnamed, unaccountable sources that is very troubling. And I think when you see the same kind of thing happen over and over again, it is concerning. And I think the president has fought very hard to bring back jobs. You, as I mentioned, you had over $500 billion of investment that's coming in that's going to grow jobs, grow our economy. That should be a big story. The president's results when it came to fighting terrorism was a big thing. The idea that we're standing up a global center to fight extremism in Saudi Arabia that's uniting Muslim countries, that's a big deal.
I think that reports that there's going to be an overhaul of the communications operation are fake news.
I know. So now you want to come back to that. What I'm telling you is that the reason that the president is frustrated is because there's a perpetuation of false narratives, a use of unnamed sources over and over again about things that are happening that don't ultimately happen, and I think that is troubling. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it.